Hey there, it's St. Louis Post-Dispatch restaurant critic Ian Froeb, back with another off-the-menu video digest of my review. This week I visit 801 Chophouse, a steakhouse that opened in Clayton at the very end of last year. 801 Chophouse is a very small chain out of Des Moines, Iowa. The St. Louis location is the fifth. It's also very, very expensive, so know that up front. Very difficult for two people to get out of here without spending at least $150, probably closer to $200 when you include tax and tip and even a modest amount of alcohol. And if you have a budget to splurge on wine, there are some big ticket wine bottles here you could easily spend into the four figures. The restaurant certainly looks like an expensive restaurant, sort of a throwback high-end dining experience, cushy leather booths, white tablecloths, lots of gleaming dark wood everywhere. I think it looks great, and the service is fantastic. Old school in the best possible sense, knowledgeable, gracious, efficient without rushing you, friendly but not, trying to be your best friend. Just really, really great service. Steaks, of course, are the main attraction here. You see here a 24-ounce Delmonico steak, one of the most expensive cuts on the menu. Relatively, they're all rather expensive. The three main cuts are the filet mignon, the strip, and the ribeye. I had the strip and the ribeye. Both are excellent, very succulent. They do wet age their steaks instead of dry age. It's one quibble for the steakhouse aficionados out there. I generally prefer the more complex flavor the dry aging gives a steak, but still, these are great steaks. The Chophouse part of the menu also includes things like the lamb chops you see here. Again, perfectly cooked. They serve it with mint jelly, kind of a nice little throwback touch there, but it doesn't even really need it. It's just great lamb. There's a veal chop that's excellent. There's also a pretty extensive seafood menu, both things like shrimp cocktail, crab cakes, whole lobster if you want, and more sort of contemporary, fresh off the boat, day boat specials, whatever you want to call them. Things like a pan-seared Alaskan halibut with some spring touches like a strawberry rhubarb compote. So there's lots of interesting ways to eat here besides just the steak. Of course, the steakhouse, so there's all sorts of a la carte sides, potatoes, preparations. You see here one of those. I think there's 7 or 8 in total. I can pretty much recommend all the potato preparations. The vegetable preparations, generally pretty good, but there were some misses. Stick with things like the carrots were excellent, the green beans were excellent. The Brussels sprouts, those were kind of a miss. And there's a little bit of inconsistency in the vegetables and that kept me from giving this a very, very high rating as opposed to just a very high rating. But really, 801 Chophouse, really excellent new restaurant. It's a splurge for most of us, special occasion restaurant, but it delivers for the money. And if budget is no concern of yours, well, that's great for you because you'll really have a great experience at 801 Chophouse. That's it for this week. You can read my full review at stltoday.com, or you can pick up a copy of Go magazine this weekend, and I will be back next week with another off-the-menu video review.